beautiful and smart, who found his mix intriguing.
A scoundrel with a heart. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, there was never a limited graver, a stunning dragoon disease. Off the bold defense of Napoleon's attack, there ain't a French or pirate's rogue who don't know Jack. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, sail around the bloody world to defend democracy. And when you need a pointed man to trust to watch your back, just ask the boat right next to you.
Damn right.
It's Jack.
Welcome back, everybody, to another round of Jack of All Trades. I am Jeff. I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Kevin. We're back to wrap up Jack of All Trades, starring Bruce Campbell. All right, Kevin, we only had 8 episodes on this one. What did you think of the last 8?
I felt cheated.
Cheated?
Yes, on a level of comparison, I felt cheated because the difference, the shortage of episodes. They were all so fun and probably even better than the first season. That golly, that extra 5 episodes really mattered.
Yeah, I'd agree. And you say coming up short, and I'm like, well, I think that was a line in one of these last episodes, because the innuendos kept flying. But to your point, though, just to follow that along, is that these last 8 episodes were really consistently good, and the fact it got canceled halfway through shooting this season, I really would love to have known what else they were going to do, because they never really killed off any villains. A lot of any overall storylines were not even wrapped up in the slightest. We even got some new villains introduced in the second half, and it felt like the show was running right along. Chemistry between M and Jack was really good. It felt like they're actually progressing it a little bit, and hopefully not in the way that, oh, hey, once these two finally hook up, the show is definitely going to take a nosedive. Didn't really feel like that was going to happen. Doesn't mean it wouldn't have, but, a lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and what we got is 8 pretty fun episodes. There's only about one I was like, about, but that was the final episode.
You too. See, I was going to say, once again, here's another proof positive where it's like they should have ended it with the second to last episode.
Hamnesia would have been a better episode to end on.
Yeah. There was nothing wrong with the final episode per se.
No.
It just wasn't a good one to end it with. But you also have to realize, well, not you, but in general, they didn't realize that they were getting canceled at that point yet.
Right. Or if they did, they were already in the middle of shooting this episode or post-production, and before they started on another episode, they're like, well, shit, I guess we're wrapping this up. Because a lot of times when they cancel, you're able to at least finish up what you're actively doing, especially if you're a large portion of the way through an episode or something. They just want you to cut it off after that. Some shows, they cut you off basically one day into shooting, and it's like, well, shit, we only just started, but that sucks. That happened to my show Brimstone from last year. We talked to Ethan and Cy about. They had an episode called Rivals that they had started shooting not even a couple of hours in, and clipped that day, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, didn't they say they had to send people home?
Yep.
That was the strangest thing.
Yep.
Well, not strangest, but...
Yeah. I'm curious how that would have worked on this show, but they shot this in New Zealand, so it probably would have been too far along in the day to be like, well, we're wrapping up in 2 hours. Who gives a shit now? Just finish it up.
Yeah, either that or let's hurry up and finish it up and get some drink on, or let's get some drink on and finish it up. One of the two.
Right.
They were having fun on set, I'm sure. So
yeah.
if that was the case, I'm sure it would have been, let's make it a party, as opposed to, oh, this sucks, never going to see you again. Something like that. Yeah.
That seems to me how considering Bruce was also a producer on this show, that how he would want that kind of handled, welcome to showbiz. Let's party, everybody. Let's finish this, finish up whatever we got to finish up here, and let's party. Let's drink. Let's smoke.
Smoke if you got them.
Smoke them if you got them.
I love Bruce.
such a good dude. Like anybody, if you're into autobiographies, go read his books. He's got some great, fantastic biographies. I got one sitting on my shelf, Hail to the Chin, and I finished reading that a year or two ago, and great book. I love the If Chins Could Kill, but I think my copy is back in Wisconsin.
Oh no.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, shit. Well, I got my True Indie, Don Coscarelli, and then Bruce Campbell right underneath. Just do a room tour one of these days. And I know he's talked about Jack of all trades in one of the books. I don't remember specifically which one, but it sounded like he had a fun time, but like unfortunately it just didn't work out.
And again, like I said last episode, that's too bad because this series is fun. And there would be return characters in this season from last season where you get excited, like legitimately excited because you'd see a return character like, oh shit, it's Blackbeard. A horrible, obnoxious character, but it was fun to see him return. It really was.
It was definitely an element of chaos when he reappeared. It's like, oh, I'm going to work with you guys. No, I'm not going to work with you guys. Okay, I guess I'll keep working with you guys just for a moment, and then forget it. I remember who the hell you are. I'm going to kill you now.
Yeah.
It was. They recognized him. He didn't recognize them right away.
Yeah. And what was it? Did Brogard tell them? Oh,
no, they were on the sub. They were doing the that pirate, the shark episode.
Yeah. The
Shark Bait.
Yes. Ooh ha ha.
With Captain Nardo da Vinci.
That was another one of those.
Played by Aeolus. Heavy accent.
Yeah. There was a lot of that in this series. A lot of heavy accents, but God bless them. They got past the American censors where they're having to escape the submarine by shooting themselves out of the torpedo tubes.
Yep.
And fucking Blackbeard goes first and screams, "Bugger me!"
In water. If that doesn't tell you that this is some camping shit, nothing will. Well, and then he got Bruce or Jack when he gets shot through the tube. He's like, "See you later, suckers." You know. I'm like, no. Oh my god.
Oh, it was so stupid but so funny.
Yeah. Well, and I love the little gimmick he had hooked up. He did a total MacGyver move where he put a rope around the door handle around like 3 different angles, and then it pulled the lever that would launch him. It's like, how did you do that literally in 5 seconds? That's impressive.
This show, like, it had no bounds of things coming out of left field and being silly. Like it's not like a Zucker film or Airplane or anything like that, but the most random things would just come out. It's almost hard to explain if you don't see it. Like things like horseplay, for lack of a better term.
Oh, I wrote a line down from that too.
Naked mud wrestling, except for instead of mud, it's wine.
Hey, I wrote down wine wrestling entertainment.
Yeah, right. And that the vineyard was basically a Roman bathhouse.
Yep, which we would get a variation on a Persian bathhouse in the final episode.
Oh my God. I got yelled at for that final episode, by the way.
Why?
So my
Because
wife...
girls were showing off their belly button.
Their belly buttons. My Mennonite neighbors didn't like that. No, my wife, we were talking about the tractor in our orchard behind our house.
Oh, okay.
And she asked me what kind of tractor that was. I'm like, I have no idea. John Deere? I don't know. And she's like, no, I think it's a concubine tractor. I'm like, what? And she said, I think it's a concubine tractor. I'm like, no.
Concubine. If it's red, chances are it's a Farmall. If it's green, it's a John Deere.
She's like, there's a tractor that sounds, or it's called concubine. I'm like, no, concubine is a harem. It's a fucking whorehouse. Turns out she was referring to a combine tractor.
Oh, I was gonna say, what the hell is she even talking
I
about?
don't know.
Combine, that makes more sense. Concubine, I would have been like, what the bloody hell are you even talking about? That makes no sense.
A combine tractor is a
Yeah.
wheat thresher, like the one
Yes.
that almost ran over the little boy in Superman 3.
Kid
Yeah,
had it
pretty-
coming.
You don't just pass out in a wheat field, kid. Duh.
Yeah, get your ass up. Get back to work.
Dog just sat there licking his balls. That is going to be another 0 point because that's going to go to Clark ate the pate. But let's bring that back here. Yeah, they had a harem and a concubine at the end, which was really funny, except for it was also an homage to History of the World. And History of the World had done it so much better already.
Yeah, that one is called 70 Brides for One Brother. That title alone is just, it'll make you laugh.
The Sultan, like, looked
Oh my
nothing
God.
like a Middle Eastern. I don't think there was any Middle Eastern people except for the original wife. I think she was. the
Everybody
only
was
person.
like, yeah,
White, very white.
and clearly trying to play another race. So if you are sensitive to that, don't watch this show.
I think if you're sensitive to that or anything,
Then you're not
At
listening to
all?
our podcast in general anyway. But
yeah, don't watch this series and skip next month altogether. So there's a lot of one-liners and quick wit.
in this show
There's
or
a
in the
lot of
next show that we're doing?
Well, both, but it's very intelligent written here and very.
Okay.
No, I can't say very intelligent and classy. It's just done pretty damn well here and funny.
Yeah.
Like what was she saying? I'll be coming for my horse.
Oh, I wrote this down. I came for my horse. She said, I came for my horse. And Jack says, for a second, I thought it was the other way around. Bruce's delivery and zingers in this show, I don't know if he was writing them himself or whoever was writing these really knows Bruce and his shtick, but he was crushing it all the way. It was like I could hear Ash Williams in like 90% of these lines if we had another season of Ash versus Evil Dead.
I was gonna say, yeah, Jack and Amelia very much remind me of Ash and Kelly.
Yeah.
They're, I mean, not in the romantic sense, but just in the
Right.
sense where like they run around the lab in their undies, for lack of a better term. She'll walk around in just her corset top.
Unless
And-
they
and-
have too much wine and then they get naked.
They get naked. They got roofied, and then what did they give them? Rohypnol? Not rohypnol, sodium pentothal. Truth
Something
serum.
like that.
Yeah. Napoleon wanted to turn all the world's leaders into mindless slaves. So he drugs their wine, and he tests it out on Jack and Amelia and tells them to take their clothes off, go home and get into bed. And they naturally assume that they got drunk and had sex. Jack's upset because he finally got to have sex with Amelia and didn't remember it.
Yep. Morning After is the name of that one. Well, and one of his response, because she keeps bagging on him about like, I can't believe I slept with you, or I can't believe we did this, blah blah blah, and he's just like, you know what? How bad could I have been? He's like, you're offending me, you know,
Yeah.
just by saying like all this. Like, it couldn't have been that bad, could it? And she's just like, I thought that was actually a good way to have her character roll through that episode. It was just constantly like berating him and beating him down, and then at some point it's like, however, there's a certain chemistry there that they would remember if they hooked.
Oh yes, and the thing is she would have been okay with it. She was just flapping her gums just to flap her gums and sound like she was in protest, because that's the decent thing to do. But she likes Jack.
Yeah. Well, the tension between the two was pretty good in that regard without going too overboard. I want to say probably one of my favorite times is when they grab the what I call the Raiders of the Lost Ark monk, because they basically replicated Raiders of the Lost Ark in basically a 22-minute episode. And when she was in the bathtub and Jack barges right in and he's like, "You got to tell me where the monkey is, the golden statue monkey. Got to tell me where the monkey is, or you got to get out of that tub. One way or another, I'm getting a show," is what he said. And he waited. He's like, "I'll just wait here forever." Well, he pulled the plug on her. The water started draining. She sends him off. He gets mousetraps all over his face going under the bed. And she's had the monkey in the bathtub with her the entire time.
Yeah, like he could have reached down and grabbed it, but he went for the chain instead. And then the mousetraps. Did you hear the mouse when Bruce got snapped in the face?
No, I didn't.
The mouse, it shows the mouse sit up and kind of like rub its nose, but you hear Nelson Muntz going, "Ha ha!"
Because that's on the cover of the third disc of the DVD set that I got.
The mouse is?
It's all the mousetrap. So when we upload videos of this episode later on, then you'll get a picture of that, or go buy the set.
Yeah, that's going to be on my to-do list this season, or this Christmas season, I think.
That is not expensive, so that's a worthwhile purchase. If you want to rewatch this show, I'd recommend. No extras are on the set, though. It's very bare bones.
That's okay. See, like, this and Legend would be shows that I would watch again, just like the RoboCop series. They're fun. They're fun shows. They're ridiculous, but they're adventure shows.
Yeah.
I don't need to see medical dramas. I don't need to see child rapists week after week or whatever the hell else Olivia Benson's arresting.
Oh, man, you just killed Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman.
But
in all CSI shows, NCIS.
You know, I want to bag on them, but I can't because I don't really watch the majority of them. Like, I loved the first 5 seasons of CSI. NCIS was cool as long as Gibbs was there, but like the other shows, it's not my gig. Not usually anyway.
Well, not really my gig either. Like Jack of all trades is easily more my speed, or like space, but basically most of the shows that we've ever covered are my thing. The only one that was kind of outside my wheel range was like the original Office.
Yeah, same here. That was one that is still like the remake, the American version eludes me, which that I heard today is being rebooted. So they're going to redo The Office.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Hopefully not. Like that is not one of the shows that needs to get rebooted or remade.
I don't want to be old enough to have things get rebooted a second time.
A second time, yeah. They've done that enough with Star Wars. We don't need this in like across the board with everything else.
Hey, at least with Star Wars, it finally stuck with the new Lego shows. People are home going, what?
I'm going to insert a cricket sound right there.
Oh, no. The Lego Holiday Special is amazing. Excuse me, let me say it with the respect that it deserves. The Lego Star Wars Holiday Special.
Okay.
Yeah. They wanted to make sure that the Star Wars Holiday Special was like big and bold. just to confuse people. It was amazing. And then they put on a really good show with like, I want to say it was only like 45 minutes, but it ranged throughout like all 9 movies. It was fun.
Oh yeah.
We're still talking about Jack of all trades. Forgot about it.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned Star Wars and it's like, ooh, something shiny. Oh wait, it's Ahsoka. Never mind.
Right. Darn it. Is that not supposed to be any good?
Moving on.
Sorry.
Nope, that's okay.
All right, so we talked about Shark and Monkey Business with El Chongo de Plata, which was amazing because, again, they were trying to have an indigenous tribe that they could refer to.
The Walla Walla Bing Bang.
Yeah, they didn't want to offend anybody, so they came up with their own tribe, the Walla Walla Bing Bangs, which came from outer space. And I'm like, you know what? Still better than Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Goddamn right.
Was not that bad.
I actually really liked the episode, and I also appreciated the fact like we keep our existence a secret, and we keep a great secret. We'll tell you about it eventually. All right, bye. It just vanishes off, and that's the end of the episode. I'm like, well, that's a thread they're probably going to come back to every great once in a while, because the show does do callbacks. It does reference itself multiple times. So it never, and it's not so complex that you're like, what the hell are they talking about? It's it rewards you if you were just following the show all the way along. Like Napoleon, when you see him again, it's a reference to, he references things that happened the first time he was on the show, the second time. They never bring up his wife Josephine again, though. And he tries to have a big-ass bachelor party again.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah.
Tries to have Amelia's face carved into the Statue of Liberty.
That was actually not a bad idea for this for the show.
No, it wasn't at all. Everything they did with Napoleon was gold, and I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to continue doing that with this season or not. And they did. Like they were able to keep that lightning in the bottle and just like keep shaking it so it lights back up.
Yeah.
All the way through Napoleon playing football against Jack.
That
and kicking his ass.
So freaking funny. Oh my God. And for everybody, for the running tally, that is episode 6. 1, 2, 3. Give me Lady Liberty.
It was so stupid. But
well, they were replicating the Thanksgiving Day tradition. And I love the appreciation Bruce had for, or however they constructed their show with Jack, and just being like, well, it's all about Thanksgiving. I'm not going to let some stupid French person screw up an American holiday. We have every right to be lazy. And you can't cook. I'll cook. And then he's like, nobody ate my pie after everybody's passed out at dinner. And it's just like, why am I so tired and passed out? And he's like, it's every American's God-given right to get lazy. the dinner was on purpose. It does it every year.
Every year. They don't know what the tryptophan is yet, but they know it's something. And it's fantastic. And he takes it so personally. And that's a great running gag with Jack, is like everything that's American or traditional. Yeah. Like he's got to take it to that next level. If there's a founding father, it's a rock star, baby.
Oh God. Yeah. Like Jefferson and everything. And God, I don't know, was that this season or was that, no, it was the first season where they got like somebody on the ship and they're doing the assassination attempt, and he spots all of the American leaders just ogling the girls, and he's like, yeah, they're okay over there.
They're okay.
They don't know any wiser. Oh no, that's the shark bait episode, because they were going to take out the American leaders.
That's right. The wine. Wait, was it the wine? No,
the wine was, that was Morning After, episode 4. Then we went into Croaky and the Pokey.
Croaky and the Pokey. That was an
interesting
episode. Yeah, because you find out that the vampire queen Camille was taking over as governess, supposedly by the order of Napoleon.
Yep.
She framed Croak, saying that he tried to assassinate Napoleon. So Napoleon's having him executed. And
why did she do this? Because he forgot their anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vindictive bitch.
And she even tried to shoot him at one point too, didn't she?
Yeah, this is their relationship, basically. They have a very hostile relationship of sorts. She hates him, she tries to kill him, but yet she loves him. He can never find a way to satisfy her, please her, keep her happy, but somehow they are. It's one of those, how are they together? How'd they get married? I think even, Jack at some point makes a comment like, how are these two not divorced already?
Or yeah. She reminds me of Sharon Stone's character from Casino.
Ooh.
Like that vicious ass gold digger.
One of her best roles.
Yeah, actually that one was. But anyway.
Croaky and the Pokey.
Yeah, thank you. I need to look straight down. Croaky and the Pokey. So when we see Jack trying to infiltrate the Bastille, is that the right term for it?
Oh, the prison?
Yeah, their prison, whatever the hell it was. So he's got to infiltrate that unwillingly to get to
he does not want to. Oh my God. M basically creates a situation where he's assaulted her And then she trips him to ensure he gets caught. And he's completely saying, no, I don't want to do it this way. No, I don't want to do it this way. She is so insistent. He gets arrested for assaulting her. And she does everything in her power. And the whole episode, Jack is just so irritated with her, so nonplussed with it, that he's like, all right, I'll play this stupid game and complete this mission. But you and me, there's going to be a payback. And it's not the kind of payback I would have hoped for, but it's probably what they needed to do, unfortunately. But where he just throws her into the drink. It's like, dude, she had you thrown in prison that could have resulted in a life sentence. And you just tossed her into the water, and that's going to be the end of that. I would hope that if there were more episodes, that would come back up later. Like, you remember the time you got me arrested and almost imprisoned for life? Yeah, now I'm calling in that marker. You owe me one. You know.
I love their. I don't want to say dynamic. Maybe that is the right word, but the way that they can work together.
Yeah.
Again, it is romantic, but it's also professional-ish.
Good team.
Yeah, they're a really good team. They are a much better team than, say, Jack and Kentucky Sue.
Oh, God.
Who I'm so glad did not make a return appearance.
Almost like she got kicked in the head by a horse a few times.
And then dropped down a well. Yeah.
Oh, God. It just reminds me of all the crazy stunts in the second half. And like Jack getting pushed off of like a 3-story building and hanging from a hot air balloon and just, what?
The worst shit happens to him, and it's always fantastic. And it's like think of all the screaming, all the pain and anguish and terror that Ash goes through in Army of Darkness, and that's the funny parts of this show.
Well, especially the mud wrestling scene in the Hog episode.
Yes.
Where she's lost her memory and she just can't stop being a 10-year-old girl, like messing with him. Like, she just won't leave him alone. And then finally they're in the pig pen looking for the deed, and she just jumps on his back and drives him into the mud. And it's like, oh my God. And he's having to take care of her. I'm like, this is a role reversal.
It was so fun, though. It was that the whole episode was almost like that 3 minutes of the episode of Loki where they go back to Pompeii when Mount Vesuvius is about to explode. Like, she was just having a great ass time, like throwing birds up in the air, causing people to trip, causing bar fights. Like, she was just having a great time. And it was genuinely funny. Again, because most like what you'd said, it's annoying the shit out of Jack.
Yeah, I love the absurdity of this. It's just so much fun at this stage in the game for this show.
Yeah, and you think, okay, this is as silly as it could get, and then no, it doesn't. It gets even sillier.
It's like, here, hold my beer, like every episode.
Like the even when they try to get serious with shit, they make it like doubly as ridiculous. Croak's trying to hang himself in the prison,
right?
But he's got his little cow puppet, Mr. Nipples, that's gonna hang itself too.
Oh my God. Although one of the best things I've seen is probably in that episode. It's the prison yard fight scene with Kiki and Jack. And I wrote this down as the ball and chain scene where he snaps the chain up between a guy's legs. And it was a hard snap, great pull, and chains to the nuts. Ow.
Did you notice the Foley effect?
I did not, because I was too busy going, oh shit.
It was a tree falling.
Oh, the snap. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
It was a very long and slow tree fall.
Oh, that was wicked. That was brutal.
It makes you jump and wince a little bit because, like,
I wasn't expecting that.
Hopefully,
that was a dick move, literally.
Yeah, he got the taint and everything.
Surprised Kiki could talk after that one.
He sounded so familiar. I had to check to see if that was Steve Bloom, but it was not. Like, he sounded like Wolverine a little bit. I was like, hey, but I don't know. Maybe he played Wolverine in the old 80s cartoon, the Australian Wolverine.
I don't know. Could be.
Probably not, but that's yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
those guys were pretty fantastic. The whole concept of Croak falling in love with all of his prison mates and wanting to free them because he knew he was wrong.
He loved the idea of freedom, but he also loved the idea in a previous episode of having a white collar prison. That was in the shark bait episode. And he's like, I lost my caviar.
Oh God, that's
but
right.
in this one, he's like, okay, I need to come up with a better punishment. You know, something with comfortable beds.
With comfortable beds and sheets. Oh, because like how real is that? Like we see that every day, and most importantly, like right now, without getting too specific, like the federal prison is just kind of a joke.
Well, if you live in California, everybody's on the streets anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Escape from California.
No. Everybody's from the streets in California. We're from the streets.
Still on the streets. Got it.
No, that's a different kind of thing. Roxanne. Oh, goodness.
Well, we talked about Croaky and the Pokey. Give me Lady Liberty. The last thing about Lady Liberty episode with the Thanksgiving and everything. I really like the Planet of the Apes ending with Vern Troyer. God damn you dirty American. Yeah, that was super funny.
It was great. And I guess we haven't talked about it. There's not much to say other than the fact that it is fantastic having Vern Troyer come back as Napoleon, because Napoleon makes every episode fantastic.
Yeah.
Croak's a wonderful bad guy, but he's even better when he's not the boss anymore. And Vern Troyer is just fantastic when it comes to being a bully.
He excels doing that. I'm like, man, he was not utilized to his fullest extent in the Austin Power movies, but he wasn't really needed to be anything more than that in those movies. I'm just saying, like, man, you could have done more with it.
They tried to do an homage to Mini-Me by having the guy that carries him around on the little pillow. They called him Maxi-Me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they actually said it in the show. It's written down in IMDb. But the concept doesn't work because he's not dressed like Napoleon. He's dressed like he himself is a eunuch.
Pretty much. Snip, snip. Unless you had a military incident years ago. Then never mind, you're hired.
The empathy in that guy's face, though, with the landmine taking his balls.
He's like, well, then your first day is now. You're going to be a guard for the harem. You got to be a eunuch. It's in reference to that in the last episode.
Yeah. And they sort of somewhat did what History of the World does, trying to see which eunuch isn't a eunuch by turning them on. And when he's about to get a boner, friggin' Amelia takes a tiny, cheese fork or whatever, and just slams it right down into his foot. And you see just this tear roll down the side of his face.
Well, and the first wife who was raising the finger of mimicking his penis. And then after that happened, the finger curls down and goes back into the hand. It's like, yep, he's a eunuch. Couldn't get a rise out of him with that one.
Oh, it was
stick a fork in him. He's done.
Stuff like that, it wasn't a ripoff. It was an homage, and it was done well enough that it was one of those pleasant homages where you're like, oh, bravo, well done, you guys. It made me happy.
No, I appreciated a lot of those. I thought they did a really good job this second half. I just wish we could have switched a couple of episodes around for an ending. It's too bad that they didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't think this show needed a final episode, as it were.
No, I agree.
I think it's more charming being episodic, more or less the way that. Well, no, I can't say the way that Briscoe was. Briscoe was not episodic. Maybe in the last couple episodes, but
yeah,
not so much. But this has that episodic serial feel or serial adventure type feel.
Right. Yeah, where you could just kind of jump into any episode and you're fine if you hadn't seen more before that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, both you and I are both huge fans of the Shadow radio serials.
Hell's yeah.
Very same type of thing.
Yeah. I would love to get those in a collection of some sort.
I had the tapes once upon a time.
So did my grandfather. I don't know what happened to him, but that's okay.
I don't think I have any cassette tapes left. Maybe a Madonna tape or two. I'm not sure.
There's nothing to it.
I wish I was joking.
I know you're not. You know, that makes me just think of the theme song again. I know we talked about it in the first episode, but the second season, you know, it puts a smile on your face. 1901, the revolution had been won. And Uncle Sam's favorite son had a job he needed done.
I need to look up to see who the woman is that sings in the intro, because she has a powerful and beautiful voice.
Which brought him to a lady, both beautiful and smart.
Yeah. At least that's what she told everybody. That, I think, was pretty much everyone's favorite quote from the shows. The scoundrel with the heart. Like, that was just a great description for him.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that's Bruce in a nutshell.
It kind of is. I really felt like they played to a lot of his strengths in this show. He's a much better actor than anybody ever really gives him credit for. I know he's done some like B movies that are just like absolute bottom level that are like well beneath his level. But like all you have to do is go watch a show like Burn Notice and see what he can do with a real choice, juicy role that's a normal sort of character in a normal sense of a world.
This is going to make me sound very small-minded.
Oh God, here we go.
I don't want to see that Bruce. I really don't.
Like that Bruce. He's good. I need a mojito.
My big brother figure, Craig, he really likes that show. Really, really likes it. And he loved the fact that Bruce was in it, and he loved Bruce's character. And so I definitely appreciate that. But I think I prefer Bruce as, of course, Ash, like we've talked about.
Oh, of course.
But more importantly, doing the weird horror type movies like Bubba Hotep. That is the greatest shit I've ever seen.
He's pretty good on that.
It makes me smile. It just does.
He's that one on our 0 point. I'll pull down my DVD that he signed.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yep. He just wrote TCB and signed it.
TCB.
Taking care of business.
Oh, yes. Every day. Ah, you son of a bitch. You just got that stupid song stuck in my head.
You're welcome, brother.
Oh, all right.
Got some social media for us, Kevin? I know this might seem like a short episode for a lot of people, but really there's only 8 episodes to talk about, and we just went through all of the episodes, actually.
We did.
Maybe that's what we do on our shorter seasons like this. When we cover them, we'll just do an episode breakdown and just go through it like that, because there will be another show like this come next year called Special Unit 2. First season's only 6 episodes. Second season's about 13.
I still would like to find out where we could find season 2 of Human Target, because that needed a whole season and they got cut at half.
Never seen it, but great. we will check that one out too. So keep that in mind, everybody.
When the strike is over, I'd like to ask Jackie where we could find that.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Hey, so let's see here. We do have some social media.
Cha-ching.
Correct. Over at the Twitter, we had Chuck Topley who said, I might be misremembering. Oh, I'm getting way ahead of myself. We asked people this week, what was your favorite one-liner from the show? Because this show, of course, is phenomenal when it comes to getting away with censors and getting some great one-liners in.
Oh, yeah.
So we had Chuck who said, I might be misremembering, but the Napoleon episode where Vern Troyer climbs up on a table to get in Bruce's face and screams, admit it, I'm better than you. Say it. Say it.
That's a really good one.
I don't remember the name of the episode, but that's where they were playing poker, wasn't it?
Yeah. That is, think that's the Deed episode.
Yeah, it sounds about right, but it just made me laugh so hard because like that was the only way he could try to win was to bully his ass. But anyway, then we've got Herman Taffy, who said, I only watched the full series just a few years ago. I bought it because I remember watching it as a youngster, but only caught a few episodes back then. Troyer as Napoleon was a fantastic play. Good luck beating that, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, Joaquin.
Fuck yeah.
Your older brother had more talent anyway. Kidding.
Oh, no.
Joaquin's
like
a fine actor.
Well, no, gosh, and we talked about this before. He's one of my favorites because in Gladiator, he played such a douchebag that he makes you hate him.
Well, that's his whole point.
So much. Yeah. And then, you look at that critically and you're like, God, he really sold that shit. Well done.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you could watch him be a loving ass uncle in things like Signs, where he's just super sweet and nice. So, I mean, he's awesome.
Well, one of my favorite roles of his was Walk the Line.
I have yet to see that.
That's pretty good. I know a lot of people they're not really big fans of that one. And I know it's not entirely like accurate, but I thought his portrayal was really good, and it's a good movie in general.
That's what I've heard. Like from everyone that I know that has seen it or owns it. Actually, pretty much everyone I know that has seen it does own it.
I don't, but I should.
Oh, never mind. Make me a liar then. Shit.
Well, that's every Tuesday for me, for you. So.
Okay. And then over on our Facebook group, Skeets said, because tea time happens to be a time-honored British tradition. When it's burger time, I'll pedal. I can't remember the name, but I remember the line. I want to say that's where they were in the sub.
I think so.
And that might have been was that this that was this season, wasn't it? Where they're going after not Blackbeard, but Nardo.
Yeah, that was the second season, yeah.
Yeah. Going after Nardo da Vinci.
I think he would have come back for sure with Blackbeard.
I would have been down for that.
Well, yeah, Michael Hurst had directed an episode. I at least caught his name on that end, at least once or twice during the second season here.
Oh, really?
Yep. Well, he's more of a behind the scenes kind of guy these days. And ever since then, I mean, I know he directed an episode or two of like Hercules as well. I know Sorbo did too.
Oh, hey, that's cool.
Yeah. Sam was pretty open for anybody wanting to step up to that role when he was doing Hercules. So,
well, was Sam doing that himself personally?
Well, he was one of the executive producers because of Renaissance Studios, and Sorbo was on another podcast recently that my wife listens to, and he basically said he went up to Sam one day and he expressed interest in directing an episode, and Sam basically said, "Sure, go for it." And they put him in the rotation to do an episode, and it went from there.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah. Hey, Sam's really good for this industry, so I'm really glad they even started a studio and that he continues to direct. I'd like to see him get back to like doing what he really loves. As far as like films go, if he wants to do an Evil Dead animated series, Ash vs. Evil Dead, that's what we're all kind of waiting for now. Or if you can pull off another Evil Dead movie somehow with the real Ash Williams, get him out of retirement one more time, don't know. Or just give us another real Darkman movie, or give him The Shadow for fuck's sake, like I've been screaming for years. Just saying.
That would be rad.
Well, he wanted to do The Shadow, and Universal's like, no. And so he's like, well, I'll make Darkman. And that's what happened.
Universal's tightening their butt right now. They're
about to get paid, though.
From whom?
Disney. They have to get bought out for the Hulu acquisition by the end of the year.
Oh, that's right. To
the tune of a minimum of $9 billion. It hasn't been valuated yet. That number is going to be larger than $9 billion. That is the minimum Universal will get paid. Why do you think they just did the rights to WWE SmackDown, moving from Fox to USA in 2024? They're going to have a cash influx soon.
USA?
Yep.
All right. I mean,
well, Raw's probably going somewhere else.
Yeah, most likely, because, they can't keep a deal with NBC to save their fucking lives.
That's true.
They've tried for the last 40 years.
Yeah. Well, this was a Universal Studios show. The the DVD, when you load it, it launches the freaking Universal logo like 3 times before you start an episode. But
Of course.
you know, that's how it goes.
I don't know. I have disdain for them, but I think they're going to be watching the industry right now. They have an opportunity to either watch and see what's happening or make their own move despite what's happening.
Right.
Because they're trying to fuck the industry right now and swerve movies away from superhero flicks. So they're, let's make investors not interested in dumping money into these big action flicks by making them lose money. So, I mean, we've been seeing Warner Brothers do that all summer long, if not all year long.
And Disney.
Loss. Did Disney lose out too?
The only one that has worked out for them this year has been Guardians of the Galaxy. And that's just barely.
Oh.
Every other Lucasfilm Marvel movie has not turned a profit.
Huh.
Well, you're talking Indy 5, that bombed horribly at the box office.
Well, they should have known after 4, 5 wasn't probably a good idea.
Well, if you hear what people said, part 5 makes part 4 look actually okay.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
Someone fucked up.
Cocaine Kennedy.
Cocaine Kennedy. Oh, was it her?
Or other people call her Caffeine Kennedy.
Caffeine. I don't know.
Anyway.
Like, she and Bob Iger, they're interesting
both
people.
go.
Yeah, they're interesting people. But that is all we had this week on social media. I think we had more people talking about how much they liked the show and wanted to see all of the show than we had people that actually got to see the show.
Correct. Now, if you are looking to check this show out, you don't want to pay for the DVDs, and you have the Peacock app, I believe it is on the Peacock app, so you can go check it out there as well. Kevin, where did you check this one out at?
On the archive. This shit was on Peacock? I could have watched it in the house?
Yeah.
Damn it!
I don't know if it's on one of the paid tiers or whatnot. I don't know. Last time I did like Peacock, like it's just ridiculous. Like you have to be on a pay tier just to watch like one of the newer release movies. But
Yes, you do.
I canceled that shit. I'm sticking to just like HP. I'm sticking to Max and Netflix and Prime, but I never watch anything on Prime anyway. So
I have to lock Prime because my kids are trying to buy and rent shit left and right.
Well, there's a pro tip on not how to use Amazon Prime Video. Don't let your kids have access to it.
No, and it's like they will try to log into it on every machine that they can get their hands on. And my daughter does not know my passwords, and she's a crafty little shit.
You keep an eye on that one.
Harley, she can't talk, but that doesn't mean she's not smart. She could read, she could write, she could do a whole bunch of shit. She just can't talk.
Cracking passwords. Yep, she's gonna be a cyber criminal.
Probably. I'll end up having to.
As long as she brings in the money and she pays for you guys' retirement. Hey, there you go. Long-term goals.
I just want pirated movies.
Well, Kevin, thank you for hanging out with me doing Jack of All Trades. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We got some fun content coming up here in November. You're going to be getting Drawn Together. So there's a little spoiler alert for you. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
I'm grateful for miniskirts, the Wonder Bra, penicillin. Oh, and those little donut holes you can get 12 for $1.
There's so many podcasts out there. How do I find the one for me?
For so long, I've searched for podcasts all over, but none of them seem to fit my needs. Where is my Nick Cage Pissing Fire podcast? Where's my monkey tickling? I couldn't find it anywhere until I found Everything I Learned from Movies podcast with Steve and Izzy. And now I get to hear about all the monkey tickling I want, baby.
So many podcasts out there are all talk and no Congo. That's why I listen to Everything I Learned from Movies.
Greatest living actor? Nicolas Cage, of course. That's why I listen to Everything I Learned from Movies.
One-liners, plot holes, gratuitous boobies? Fun fact, that's why I listen to Everything I Learned from Movies.
See if Everything I Learned from Movies is right for you at EILF Movies. That's Everything I Learned from Movies on Twitter, Facebook, or Patreon. Free on all the major podcatchers.
Make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms. We got Facebook, Twitter. We are at Suns and Shadows. We're also on Instagram at Suns and Shadows Cast. We are at SunsAndShadows.com. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.